This channel is for adults and not for kids. Hey guys, thanks for stopping back by. So I ran across some cool old toys of mine from my childhood that I thought I would show off to you guys. I'm going through one of my big bins, one of my big, like these giant Tupperware bucket things. This one is labeled miscellaneous little toys, and it's packed to the brim with miscellaneous little toys. I was looking for something else and I came across these and I figured, hey, those are cool. I don't remember exactly what these things were called, but they're from the 70s and they sold them through the 80s. It's kind of like Aurora's Lost Prisoner, sort of. This one is. It's a little rubber skeleton of some dude that was tied up and forgotten about. Some forgotten prisoner, left for dead, tortured. Rubber monster toys were big in the 70s. With Ben Cooper and Imperial, and then there were cheaper knockoff ones. I remember my big brother coming home with like a different rubber gorilla, every weekend. I wish I still had all those rubber gorillas. Here's another skeleton. This one doesn't have his little hanging thing, but I mean, you could use some string or rubber band or thread, something. They're rubber. I used to have so many rubber monsters when I was a kid. I still have a bunch, but nowhere near like when I was a little kid. I used to have just buckets full of this stuff. Here's another one. This one was my favorite when I was a kid. He's dressed like fucking Peter Pan though. I don't know. He's dressed all like in leaves with a rope belt. Now, if he looks slightly dirty and grimy, which I know he does, it's because this guy was buried in my mom's backyard. My mom has this great big tree in her backyard, and I used to play around that tree when I was a little kid. And I must have fucked up and buried him and forgot about him. And then the roots pushed his ass out. He's like being shoved out of the dirt. He was coming up out of the ground in true monster fashion. And I was at my mom's backyard, and I saw him coming up out of the ground. It was very surreal, because I thought he was lost forever. He was buried along with another monster I'm about to show you guys. This one, I think these were called Ugly Wugglies. It was a goofy name like that. This one was buried in the backyard also. And he feels harder. It did something to the rubber. This is very like solid and rigid now. I feel like if I were to move these arms, I would snap them off. The rubber has turned really, really hard. Feels like resin or something. I don't know what the elements did to him, but yeah, he sort of solidified, and the little elf monster guy. He's totally fine. Here's another one of those ugly wuggly things. This is a blue one. They're like a soft rubber. These toys are so cool. You know, used to go to like Woolworths, or you know, there were dime stores. And they would always have like a big plastic or a big cardboard box that the kids could root around in and pull out a monster. You know, you would have these rubber dinosaurs or rubber bugs, snakes, lizards, the Universal monsters, King Kongs, all kinds of really cool rubber toys. Here's a neat looking lizard. This is like an iguana. He obviously glows in the dark. Here's another lizard. If you are a toy collector, and especially from Generation X, I know you guys will remember, some of you out there will remember these pieces. Say anything? Probably just Hong Kong. How about this one? Do you guys remember this one? It's like the crawling eye. He's got, look like little mouths down here on his tentacles. He's cool looking. And I've got a lot of whatever toy line that was, with these weird eyeball-like monsters. These were sold in gumball machines, these versions. Again, it's like a crawling eye, but it's thinner material, and it's not. Here's a cheap knockoff. Well, I mean, I don't think these things are trademarked, but you can tell this is the same monster. It looks like what somebody did is they took that blue one and then they made a mold of it, because the detail on this is way simplified compared to that one. So it looks like they just made a mold and started pumping out more of them. I don't know if these were from a group of toys or what, but I've got a bunch of them. And they're all kind of based off of artwork from, I can't think of the guy's name right now, but I used to have a whole bunch of stickers of this guy's artwork. Kind of not quite Rat Fink stuff, but kind of in that same vein of like bizarre looking monsters, like the weirdos, that sort of a look. Yeah, I don't really know what you call these things. I'm sure they have a name, and somebody out there is pulling out their hair right now saying, those are the weirdums, or something, you know. Somebody knows what these things are called. I'm just not that somebody. I own the monsters, I just don't know what they're called. Shit, I don't even know what these guys were called. But they are definitely cool. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you guys. But while I've got this bucket out, I guess I could show you guys some of the stuff that's in here. Hey, that's an Evel Knievel Yeti. You guys remember this? This was the only thing I wanted from the Evel Knievel line of toys. Of course, it was the monster, the Yeti, that Evel Knievel was supposed to jump his motorcycle over some mountain. And of course, there was a Yeti, because why wouldn't there be? It was the 70s, and Sasquatch and Bigfoot were everywhere, including doing battle with America's favorite motorcycle daredevil, apparently. I've got lots of Bigfoots and Yetis in this box. So here's the Evel Knievel one. And then I think I've showed you guys this before. This is the Bigfoot from the board game. He's kind of painted like Sasquatch though, with this sort of snow effect on him. This was absolutely the only reason why I got that board game. I probably played the board game a total of, I don't know, 6 or 7 times in my entire life. The only reason I wanted it was to get the little toy monster. I remember thinking, holy shit, that game comes with an action figure. And I actually remember my mom telling me when we bought this game, I remember her telling me, now remember, that toy goes to the game. It has to stay in the box, otherwise the game's no good anymore. My mom knew me pretty well. All I wanted was the monster. Same thing with the slime game. You guys remember the slime game? Like, back when there was only one company that produced slime, there was a board game. And you basically moved the little players around the board. And then there was this cool slime monster that was unfortunately constructed out of really thinly made plastic, but you would put the slime in the back of the monster's head, and it would come out of his mouth, and it would, you know, land on top of one of your little game pieces. And the game itself was really stupid. Like, the loser of the game, the guy that got slimed, he had to clean up the board. That was the sort of object of the game, I guess. Whatever. Here's a Bumble. He's a Yeti. He's obviously a Yeti. He's the Abominable Snowman. I got one of him here. Oh, this is the electronic one that roars. I need to put batteries in him. Here is here's one in nicer shape. Bumble's Bounce. That one's nicer. Let's see what else we got. We got your Pillsbury Doughboy. What else? Looks like another Bumble. This is a Abominable Snow Monster from some, I think, Matchbox, maybe? You know, ever since The Empire Strikes Back, they've been putting horns on Yetis. And that's stupid because the horns are only for the Wampa, not for all Yetis, but there you go. They're putting chemicals in our water, and they're putting horns on our Yetis. All kinds of stuff. Here's a Tombs of the Blind Dead little resin figure. I showed him off before. Lots of blueberries. Yeah, got a couple of Sleestaks. Anyway, lots of stuff in here. A lot of Schleich stuff. My Final Faction figures. Humanoids from the Deep. They ended up in here. All kinds of stuff. Oh, wow. Let's see. I did a video about this guy. Do you guys remember these? Right after Star Wars, everybody was pumping out their own version of basically Star Wars characters. I think these were made by Timmy Toys. Oh, I loved these goddamn things when I was a kid. Look at that turtle guy. This is more Flash Gordon than it is Star Wars, but still. These were the larger sized ones. Here's your generic astronaut. Here's not R2-D2. There's another turtle guy. Here's not Chewbacca with the Andorian antennas. I got a green one too. He's pretty cool looking. I mean, it's basically, yeah, it looks like, it kind of looks like Ralph McQuarrie's early designs for Chewbacca. And somebody just, hey, Bob, why don't you slap some antennas on those so we don't get sued? Hey, way to think there, Mr. Rogers. Thanks. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. This is not Darth Vader. He's even got a not lightsaber. So cool. I guess this was their Flash Gordon. This was like their Luke Skywalker. Space Patrol. Now these are the size that I used to play with all over the yard. Oh, there's their version of Princess Leia. And a little version of not Darth Vader. I think that's all the characters. This is their version of the X-Wing fighter. You know they still sell these toys on Amazon? I think they're called like Star Raiders. Something like that. But they're sold in lots of different colors. I like these gray ones. They're pretty cool. Gray and black. Very cool. Anyway, this was just a strange video. I just was going through one of my bins and I came across those little rubber torture guys. I thought you guys might like them. And it ended up being about all this other junk. Anyway, yeah, let me know if you guys have any of this stuff. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, where we're just going through bins and buckets and stuff. Oh, I gotta put all this stuff back. Anyway, we'll go through all this stuff some other time. I'll show you guys everything. A lot of this stuff you guys have seen in other videos. I've got over 500 videos on the channel now, guys. So odds are, if you're seeing any of this stuff, it's got its own video. But we'll go through some of this stuff again. We'll dig through some more of these bins. God knows, I've got enough of them. So yeah, we've got lots of stuff to go through. Lots of goodies. So, all right, guys. Take it easy.